The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has issued an unusual warning that has left both consumers and retailers on high alert. Certain frozen shrimp products imported from Indonesia may have been contaminated with radioactive material. The advisory is targeted at specific lots of Great Value brand frozen white shrimp, a product sold widely in Walmart stores. The situation began when shipping containers arriving at major U.S. ports triggered radiation alarms during routine checks by Customs and Border Protection. Upon closer examination, inspectors discovered trace amounts of cesium-137, a radioactive isotope most often associated with nuclear accidents or improper waste handling. This finding prompted the FDA to conduct further testing of shrimp imported by an Indonesian supplier, PT Bahri Makmur Sejati. In at least one batch, the agency confirmed measurable levels of radiation. While the detected amounts were below the FDA's own threshold for immediate public health danger, the concern lies in long-term exposure and the broader issue of contaminated supply chains. Consuming foods with small but repeated doses of radioactive material may not cause sudden illness, but the cumulative risk can increase the chance of developing cancer over a lifetime. The FDA made it clear that this was not a risk they were willing to dismiss, particularly given that seafood is often consumed regularly in many households. As a precaution, the FDA advised consumers, restaurants, and retailers to stop eating, selling, or serving the shrimp linked to the affected lots. The bags in question were 2-pound packages labeled with specific lot numbers and a best-by date extending into 2027. Though officials emphasized that no contaminated shrimp had yet reached U.S. supermarket shelves and confirmed sales, the advisory was issued broadly to prevent any possibility of the product being consumed. For the supplier, the consequences were swift. PT Bahri Makmur Sejati has now been added to the FDA's import alert list. This designation effectively blocks its products from entering the United States until the company can demonstrate that its facilities and procedures meet safety requirements. Such a listing can be devastating for exporters, cutting them off from one of the world's largest consumer markets. For Walmart and its customers, the situation has been a reminder of how quickly a staple freezer item can become a subject of national concern. Shrimp is one of the most popular seafood products in the U.S., with millions of pounds imported annually. Any disruption to supply not only affects consumer trust but also raises questions about the global seafood trade, inspection processes, and food safety standards. Officials reassured the public that the radiation levels detected in the shrimp were not high enough to pose immediate danger. A person would need to consume large amounts over a long period to potentially experience health consequences. Still, the very idea of radioactive shrimp has proven difficult to ignore. Food is supposed to be safe, dependable, and free from such risks. Even if the scientific risk was relatively low, the psychological effect of knowing radioactive isotopes were present at all is powerful enough to warrant strict measures. The FDA's message was straightforward: if you have the affected shrimp, do not eat it. Return it, discard it, or otherwise ensure it does not enter the food supply. Retailers and restaurants were given the same directive, ensuring the precaution covered the entire supply chain. As investigations continue, the incident has raised broader issues about global food safety. How did radioactive material end up in shrimp in the first place? Was it environmental contamination in the waters where the shrimp were raised? Or was it introduced during processing and packaging? These are the questions regulators will pursue as they seek to prevent a recurrence. For now, consumers are left with a story that sounds almost too unusual to be true. Shrimp, a common dinner ingredient, flagged for radiation at America's ports. The event underscores both the importance of vigilant inspection systems and the unpredictable challenges of a globalized food supply. In the end, this is less about panic and more about prevention. The shrimp in question may not have been dangerously radioactive by strict measurements, but the FDA chose caution over complacency. That decision, while disruptive in the short term, reflects a food safety system designed to protect the public, even from risks that sound more like fiction than reality.